Hi, this is John Libertori for MyMedia. I am with Terry Case from Suez, which was formerly GE. And Terry, you've been using My Lobby Visitor Management now for a couple of years, and I'm going to ask you some questions about your experience in using the My Lobby Visitor Management System. And just to get started, maybe you can stage a little bit kind of what your facility looks like. It's about maybe starting. How many employees are there in your facility?
We currently have on any given day anywhere from 400 to about 425 employees that work out of the facility here.
Got it. And do you have could you also give me an idea as to how many, like, say, visitors come in per day or per week at your facility?
I would say that we probably have approximately 100 visitors that come through these doors weekly. Sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less.
Okay, got it. And prior to using the My Lobby Visitor Management System, what were you guys doing before?
We had a paper copy or like a visitor book to where every visitor would come in, fill out the little card in the book. Then the receptionist would tear that out of the book, keep a record of it, and put it into a little badge profile and hand it to the visitor. And then the receptionist would have to then get on the paging system and page the entire building, looking for the employee that this visitor was here to visit with.
And what were some of your frustrations or challenges that you had with that current system?
We were trying to cut down on the amount of paging. I mean, you can imagine when you're getting hundreds of visitors visitors a week coming through the doors. Basically, all the receptionist was doing was paging for employees to come to reception to pick up their visitor. Our paging system, it was not the greatest, so some speakers it was a little muffled. Other areas of the building it didn't quite reach. So visitors would end up sitting in the lobby for extended period of time, being late for the meetings because the employees just weren't timely getting informed that their visitor were here.
Right. And Terry, also, I'm just recalling our conversation from a few years back as we were first talking about this, keeping track or log when you guys do like evacuations. I think you'd kind of like the idea of having something where you could just take, electronic device rather than a paper and pen book.
Yeah, so during whether our any real emergencies or our fire drill testing type idea and our fire drills, with having say 50 visitors in the building, in one day, we would have to take the visitors log outside, and reception would have to go through and name off all of these visitors. It's kind of like a list, to see if they were present.
Yep.
Not all the time they would be present. They would be out, back of the building or somewhere, and not make their way to reception. So I mean, it became quite a bit of a challenge. And
Yeah.
if for some reason the receptionist was not at the front desk, she would have to make her way to the front desk to grab the logbook, which in the event of a real emergency, that would put her life in
I
danger.
think what piqued your interest the most about when we talked about My Lobby?
The fact that it was real easy to use. It was real easy for a visitor to come in. They basically put their name in, who they're visiting, either a contact info of either an email address or a cell phone number, and then it would take a photo of them, and they were done. And one of the greatest features that I liked about the system was that I had a photo ID record of all of the visitors in case there was a security issue.
Mm, yeah, I've been hearing that a lot. Why did you decide to do business with us?
Well, the system it was kind of new, and like our company is all about new technologies, new solutions, and such. So as I looked at the system when it was presented to me, it did pique some interest. We were a little hesitant on going away from the easy, write the person's name down. But like I said, one of the key features was on the security side that I actually had a photo of the visitors that remains in the system forever, um, so that if there was ever a security breach or something along that line, I could quickly, easily pull up the date and pull up the visitor.
Awesome. Thank you. Um, can you describe working with us? In what area did you get the most value, and why do you think that is?
Um, I would have to say, the tech support for the device itself. Anytime we've ever had an issue, if it's gone down or it's had a couple of glitches, the issue's been resolved within either minutes, hours, or within a day. You know, the core team that MyMedia has, they seem to know what they're doing. They're willing to help resolve any issues. And as we got into the development of this device, it really piqued my interest, and I worked alongside John and a few other team members to sort of cater it to my needs and uh, uh, work on the design and the overall of what I was looking for. So they were very receptive to that.
Yeah, and Terry, and a big thank you to you, because you also, I think, painted a picture to us and what is on the minds of not just concerns that you have for you and your facility, but I think a lot of them were universal and global. And as we talk to a lot of people, and they're like, they share some of the same concerns that you brought to our attention. I think as a developer, the kind of coolest thing is just that not just develop something because what we think people will need, but rather actually talk to people that are facing this every day and say, I'd love to hear comments like, oh, it would be great if we could have a system that can do, X, Y, and Z, or an A, B, and C. And so you brought a lot of those things to our attention. And so we thank you for that. And so being able to tailor that and making it was just a great experience for us and more value to other facilities as well. So again, thank you.
Well, I mean, for right off the hop, I guess the biggest improvement we had was being able to reach our employees when they had a visitor. Like I said in the beginning, we would have to do an awful lot of paging, which was disruptive to the rest of the building, especially for those that are having meetings or on conference calls, and you hear paging going off in the background. Uh, with the new My Lobby system, it's silent. The employee will get an email plus a text message to their company phone, letting them know that there's a visitor waiting at reception. One of the key features that I liked about it was that if our employee who was expecting the visitor was tied up in a meeting that was running a few minutes longer, they could actually reply to their visitor that's waiting at reception to let them know that they will be a few minutes late and just to have a seat. Um, and that's one of the really good features of the system.
And Terry, how likely are you to recommend us?
I have recommended you to some other folks. I'm not sure whether they've actually reached out to you, but 100%. I love this device.
Great.
We've tweaked it over the years to meet my needs.
Mm-hmm.
So working with MyMedia and working with the My Lobby system, I'd absolutely recommend it to any business with a substantial amount of employees that are looking to come up with a better way of managing their visitors and contractors.
Got it. I think the last question I have, Terry, is what was the ROI for GE and now Suez in working with us? And I don't know if you just give me a ballpark or some sort of indication of what that return on investment looks like for you guys.
I would have to say the biggest portion of the return on investment is you know not tying up the visitor's time. Um, with the system texting to the employee that the visitor is here to see. the employee will immediately know that there's somebody waiting for them, and come down there and get them in a timely fashion. That way, they're not late for their meetings. Also, secondly, with the old system that we had, our reception team would have to page our employees and manually enter these visitors into our paper system, and work with them, and especially if we had multiple visitors at one time. Where with the visitor management system from my lobby, uh, it is pretty self-sufficient for the visitor. The visitor will come in and say, "Hi, I'm here to see so and so." Our receptionist is able to just say, "Hey, please sign in at the device there," and once you've signed in, the person that you're going to be visiting will be down to greet you shortly, and that way their time is freed up to continue answering the phones, transferring off the calls, especially to our customer care service center, where uh, our customers order all our chemical products and all our other products. So that way, the calls are being directed immediately to where we actually make revenue.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. So, Terry, thank you again for your time and this call. So, I appreciate it. And so it gives you an opportunity for anybody that's listening, it gives you an opportunity to hearing it directly. A facility manager that was using simple paper and pen method previously, like many facilities, and converting over to a MyLobby solution.